This is the first dog we're showing you today. This is Secrets. Secrets is an 11-month-old female terrier type, rescued for a kill shelter on the day that she was supposed to be put to death. On her way back up here, she sat in one of the volunteers' laps, looking as if to say thank you. She's active, she's playful, she can get a little bit rough, so we think no small children for her. We think she should maybe be in agility or obedience classes because she is a bit of a wild child. But she's loving and sweet and friendly and outgoing and playful and a handful. This is very much a puppy. Her name is Secrets. She would love to go home. She would love to be with another dog, older kids, just about anybody else. She's a love and she's looking for a home. Now you're looking at Sammy. Sammy is a 1.5-year-old neutered male terrier poodle type. Believe it or not, he's naked because he was so matted that they had to shave him down to the skin. He was picked up running stray in the city. The people who rescued him had him in their home for several days. They said he was good with their kids, he was good with other dogs, and he was good with their cats. We think he was probably an outside dog all of his life. He certainly was matted and filthy enough to have been. But he's bright, and he's outgoing, and he's young, and he's playful, and he's friendly, and he's absolutely adorable. And he will have hair one day. I promise he will have fuzzy hair one day. He needs a loving family who can give him some training, cuddle him, and let him be the loving little perky, bright, playful dog that he wants to be. You're looking at Sammy. You're looking at Buster Brown. He's a 3-year-old neutered male Brussels Griffon type. Good with some dogs, good with all cats. Since he is a terrier, he needs to be supervised with kids. They respect not kids under 6 because he's a terrier. He is a love. He's cheerful and he's outgoing. He's a curious little guy. And if you look at that face, you can't help but smile. He looks like a dandelion. He loves people. He is very outgoing. He's very cuddly and smart. But he can be willful. He can be stubborn. He is a Brussels Griffon. He is a terrier. If you're looking for a sweet, cute, fuzzy, happy little guy who will fill your life with joy and amaze you with his energy, come see Buster Brown. He is absolutely adorable. You're looking at Jethro Bodin. He's an 8-year-old neutered male spaniel type. Came from a rural Illinois kill shelter where he had been turned in by his owner, who had about 11 dogs and decided to downsize. Jethro is very shy, very frightened. They had him in the kennel, and he was terrified of the noise, terrified of the barking, terrified of people coming to stare at him. There he's in his own room now, and he's a lot more confident than he was, but he's still very, very frightened. This is one of these dogs that needs a very soft, loving person who will take him in and just be kind and soft and quiet and gentle and teach him that hands are for petting and not for hitting. Hearts are for loving, and love is for sharing, and homes are forever. He needs a forever home with someone who will take the time to gain his confidence, to let him love them. That's all this little guy wants. His name is Jethro Bodin. The dog you're looking at now is Crash. Crash is a 4-year-old neutered male boxer mix, rescued from a rural shelter. He had been brought in as a stray. One of the neighbors was getting ready to shoot the dog because he was tired of the dog hanging around, and so at least he was brought into the shelter. He is outgoing and friendly. He was terrified when he first came in, but he's doing absolutely fine now. He's got beautiful colors on it with a great boxer face and a tail that never stops wagging. This is a happy, outgoing, friendly guy. Yeah, you need a little strength in your arms for him, but he would be a great family dog. He loves other dogs, loves to play. That tail never stops wagging. It just goes and goes and goes because he's such a happy boy. And if he's happy here, just think how much happier he would be in your home. Can we get him turned around so we can see his face again? Crash. Can we see your handsome face? It's so beautiful. This wonderful, there you go. He just looked at the camera and said, "Come get me." He is a wonderful, playful, beautiful, loving young dog looking for a forever home of his own. His name is Crash. Sweet is a 3-year-old female terrier type. Looks like she might be maybe terrier beagle, but who knows. And her name is her personality. She absolutely loves people. She loves other dogs. Very laid back, sweet, and gentle until you get her going. And when you get her going, she loves to play and can get wildly excited. She'd probably do best in a home without young children, as when she gets overly excited, she can nip at your heels and run and play. I'm told this is a shelter favorite because she is so dear and so loving and so sweet and outgoing and happy and friendly and wonderful. This is a slightly portly little beautiful girl. You can look in her eyes and you can see the temperament. You can see the love in this dog's eyes. All you have to do is have her look at you. Hello, sweet. And you can see, if you look at her, you can see that there's nothing but love in this dog. And even here, and even in a shelter, and even having lost her family and her friends, this dog has retained that sweetness that gave her her name. Her name is Sweet. She is incredibly lucky, loving, and she's looking for a forever home. You're looking at Wire. Wire is a 1-year-old shepherd mix. Came in to Save a Pet as a puppy, confiscated an abuse case, was adopted because he was playing with one of the neighbor's dogs, and the neighbor claimed he was playing too rough. Although the neighbor's dog had not been hurt, the people decided they didn't want a dog that was going to make trouble between them and their neighbors, so poor Wire is back here. Is Wire a male or a female, by the way? Female, okay. They're suggesting maybe is an only dog because she does play rough. But then again, if you had another dog that liked to roughhouse and wrestle, it might work. So it has to be decided on a case-by-case basis. She needs some training. She needs some working with. But she is basically a puppy. And she's young, and she's sweet, and she's friendly, and she's loving, and she's outgoing. And she would do great in a home with somebody who was willing to invest the time and train her. This is Wire. She is a beautiful young dog, not too big, very sweet, and looking for a home. Okay, now you're looking at Mr. Gus and Mrs. Abby. They are our special needs dogs. They are brother and sister black labs, 12 years old. Relinquished because the owner put in an electric fence and put shock collars on the dogs, and they kept getting out. So he blamed the dogs for going through the fence, and he decided it was just too much hassle to keep them, and he dumped them. They are sweet, friendly, outgoing, loving, good-tempered. They were never allowed in the house. They were kept in a garage or turned loose on the property. And basically what happened here is the owner blamed the dogs for going through the fence instead of blaming himself for not taking responsibility for his dogs who only wanted to be with people. They know each other. They have depended on each other all of their lives. And I know how hard it is to find homes for even one 12-year-old dog. But to ask someone to take in two 12-year-old dogs at the same time, and big dogs, I know it's asking a lot. But God, these dogs are beautiful and sweet and loving and friendly and outgoing, and they only want to be petted and they only want to be loved. And it's so hard for them to be in the shelter. Abby never wants to go back in her cage when she's been out with people, and it makes us cry every time we shove them back in a cage. So if you've got the room and you've got the time and your heart is very big and you want to do a wonderful thing, come adopt these two guys. Let them live out their lives in love and peace with people who care about them. Their names are Mr. Gus and Mrs. Abby. They are lovely, loving old people. They're still somewhat playful, but what they really, really need is just someone to love them.